the good thing is that Unilever as a company has had always a very deep level of talent. You'll find in many companies people that have gone through Unilever, or you find very good people in the company itself. In many places across the world, it's a desired employer. So we don't lack the talent. But if the strategy changes, you just need to, as the first thing you need to do is to be sure that you have the right skill sets at the right place. And not only the right people on the bus, but also the right people in the right place in the bus is what we're talking about. So a company moving from a phase of restructuring to a growth phase, we were very clear that the priority again was to grow the company. In fact, we set a very audacious goal to double the company. We also had to be sure that we got people in the different operating units that moved from a restructuring mentality to a growth mentality. So we needed to get people that were passionate about the consumer, passionate about the retailers that we had to deal with, knew a lot more about branding and marketing. So one of the main things that we spent our time on is really getting this skill matching in place. And then you have to bring in some skills where they are absent. We found some of our areas, again in the area of customer development, for example, in the area of supply chain. We had come from such a decentralized organization that we frankly did not have the skill sets within the company to respond to the needs of the marketplace. So we selectively brought in some people from the outside. Again, as these results came in, as these standards were being set higher, people understood what we were trying to do. We spent an enormous amount of time on focusing on our own employees first, on training and developing them, putting the capabilities in place. So whilst we've made a fair amount of changes, we've been able to do that at least for 2/3 internally and for 1/3 externally. The benefit I found in a company like Unilever, which actually turns out to be a competitive advantage in this world of fast change, is the company has been used to a lot of change, more so than some of the other companies I've worked for. So it was fairly easy actually, surprising to me how quickly people were rallying to this. And we built it up fairly carefully. It's sequencing that you have to do, which is equally important. I tell people always what we're trying to do is like changing the engine of the car whilst keeping the car running. I've deliberately never reset the thing in the company. I've always taken the targets that my predecessors had out there. Never said anything was broken. We just want to make it run faster in the right direction. And that requires a certain sequencing. You cannot do everything at the same time. So we spent a lot of time with our board figuring out what we do and what we do first, what we do second. So we started with what we call the 9 for 2009, 9 simple things we all did. We found that the company was more interconnected than we thought. Then we launched the compass, which deliberately I called a compass because it was a sense of direction, not just D strategy or D rules. And we again focused on some key areas, on branding, innovation, winning in the marketplace, people that everybody could do, leveraging smartly our scale. And now we're in a phase that we call turbocharging our compass. And so far, as I said, the organization is responding well. Our growth last year was the highest in 30 years, which surprised us a little bit. But the results are coming in, so I think we're on the right track, and we see that reflected in engagement scores and other things that we keep a close eye on.